Duncan, how are you doing? Tell me how you are, man.
Yeah, not doing too bad, man. Not doing too bad. Last time we spoke, it was obviously when you came on my podcast, and you know, your book's doing fantastic, isn't it? How have you been? I'm doing great, but how are you doing? You know, it must be 3 months of hecticness, I imagine.
Yeah, I mean, you know, as I was saying to you when we were messaging earlier, it's been a real gift, man. I just feel so grateful that, you know, to share something right now, as I was saying with your book, to be able to put something out right now that actually is useful to people. Because I know, I can't remember when you told me you wrote this book, but I finished writing my book long before the pandemic, we even knew it was happening. And so for me, the fact that my book was able to come in at a time and serve and support people right now, that's, you know, been a real gift for me. So, you know, I think this book of yours is really going to help people right now, because I've always loved how you work, really simplify stuff. Tell us about why it was so important for you to come up with 5-minute tips, and how impactful do you truly believe 5 minutes can be?
Yeah, I mean, thanks, Jay. Look, why did I write it? Look, I've been practicing now as a medical doctor for almost 20 years, right? So 20 years, I've seen tens of thousands of patients in that time. And if you ask anybody, would you like to improve the way that you feel? You know, would you like to spend a bit more time on your health and wellness? Everyone's going to say yes. I mean, every single person will say yes. And I'm sure people watching this right now, if you ask all the Instagram watchers right now, would you like to improve your health? Would you like to do more things? Everyone's going to say, yes, I would love to do that, but I don't have time. Time is the biggest obstacle that we see over and over again. People say, I don't have time, I don't have time. And then I thought about how I really have helped people over 20 years. And honestly, the way I've made really big change with people in my practice or in my BBC TV shows, which have gone all the way around the world, is by starting small. When I start with 5 minutes, people can do it. They feel good about themselves. Our identity starts to change, and those 5 minutes become a lot more. And so, you know, I don't know if I said this to you last time I spoke to you, Jay, but I saw a patient a few years ago in my practice, 42-year-old chap. He was a little bit overweight, tired all the time, and really struggling with a low mood. I know there'll be many people watching this Instagram live right now who go, yeah, that sounds a bit like me. You know, I'm struggling with a bit of that. And I knew that his lifestyle was contributing to the way that he was feeling. And so I went through some options with him. And he said, Dr. Shetty, I'm not interested, don't want to do that. And when I said strength training, he said, oh, Doc, yeah, I want to do that. Right, that's it for me. I've not done it since I was a teenager. You're saying it's going to help my energy, it's going to help my moods. And I was like, yeah, absolutely. And he's like, okay, I'm in. Shall I do 45 minutes 3 times a week at the gym? Right? And I was like, yeah, sure. If you can do that, that'll be amazing. He comes back a month later. He's not been once, Jay, because he said work was work was busy. The gym was quite expensive. It wasn't near his home or his work. And he felt like a failure. Right, he felt like a failure because he couldn't do 45 minutes 3 times a week. So what did I do? I took my jacket off and I said, right, I'm going to teach you a 5-minute workout right now. And I taught it him where he doesn't need to join a gym. He doesn't need to buy any equipment. He doesn't even need to get changed. And he loved it. And then when I send him out this time, he comes back 4 weeks later saying, Doc, I love it. I do it now because it's so easy and because I feel good after I've done it. I do it for 10 minutes every evening before my dinner. He's been doing that, Jay, for over 5 years now, right? 70 minutes of strength training, and that starts with 5 minutes. And then something I write about in the book, Jay, is called the ripple effect. It's not just that one change. He now eats better. He now sleeps better. Now, because I saw him a few months ago, he gets up and he does breath work and meditation every morning. These things were unheard of, Jay. Hey, I was just saying that basically one small change changed the way he felt, and now he's thriving. So I've got so many stories like that, but I wanted to show people, particularly now in a pandemic, people are stressed, right? They're thinking, what's going to happen to the world? It does change people's lives for sure.
Amazing. Well, I wanted to talk about, so again, everyone, if you're talking to me right now, Instagram's having a lot of glitches today. I have no idea what it is because we both got good reception, but Feel Better in 5. Go and grab a copy of the book. That's what we're discussing today, especially if you're feeling tired of being stuck indoors right now. You're feeling like you're not getting any exercise. You feel like you're just, you feel like now it's like it's been 8 months and you're still not feeling like you found your groove. This book is going to help you find that physical and mental groove. Rangan, talk about nature a little bit for me, because here you have a whole section on 5 minutes in nature. I've been spending a lot of time in nature at the moment because I find it to be incredible. We hear that a lot, but what do you do in your 5 minutes in nature? What can you practically do to make it the most amazing experience?
So look, some people are going to go, well, the perception is, Jay, that you have to go out for a 1-hour hike up the mountain. You have to make a big sort of have you still got me there, Jay? You still got me?
Yeah, I can hear you.
Yeah. Okay. Simply being in nature will lower levels of the stress hormone cortisol. They're just going to go down straight away. We've got really good science. The University of Brighton has shown us this, that being in nature lowers your stress levels. And at the moment, Jay, so many people are feeling stressed. A daily dose of nature is a daily dose of nature. So what can you do? You can have a cup of coffee in your garden. If you're lucky to have a garden or a backyard, you can do that. If you live in an apartment with a balcony, you can go out on the balcony. If you don't have the luxury of a backyard, you know what? You can just go. You can go out your window and look at a tree. We know that even staring at a tree will lower levels of the stress hormone cortisol. So the point is that nature, in many ways, provides the antidote to the modern world of lots of technology, lots of stress, lots of anxiety. It's going to help you with your health and well-being for sure. So yeah, definitely encourage people to get out in nature. And even looking at a picture of nature, Jay, will still help. If you can't get out into nature, look at a picture of nature and you'll still get some of those benefits.
Wow, I love that. We should all change. I know my desktop background is a beautiful sky, both on my laptop and on my phone. And one of my favorite things to do in nature is also like looking into the distance. So being able to look beyond, because today so much of our life is so close contact. We look at our screens, which are really close to us. We're looking at things that are really close to us. But to be able to look far into the distance, into the sky, it doesn't matter what kind of view you have, just the ability to push your eyesight is such a powerful way. So I love that section on nature. This is the other one I love. You talk about, the desk jockey workout. So this one I really love as well, desk jockey workout, because I think so many of us right now, even though we're not spending time at work, we're still spending time at a desk or a couch or a table. How important do you think it is? Do people need to separate their workout time, or are you someone that like allows people to build it into their day? How do you see that?
Yeah, so the beautiful thing about the 5 minutes is that it very much works like a habit, like toothbrushing, right? So everyone's familiar with the idea that they brush their teeth for 4 minutes a day. I mean, I'm pretty sure most people watching this, Jay, right now will say, yeah, I brush my teeth 2 minutes in the morning, 2 minutes in the evening. That's how it's built up, and that's how it's a habit. We don't not brush our teeth Monday through Saturday, and on a Sunday we go, hey, you know what? I'm going to take a 1 hour deep cleanse off my mouth on Sunday to make up for not brushing my teeth. We do a little bit each day, and that's what keeps our dental health in check for our life. And I'm saying, in this book, I say the same thing with our, I split it up into mind, body, and heart. Mental health, physical health, and emotional health is basically how I split it up. And in terms of physical health and moving our body each day, 5 minutes a day makes a huge difference. Now, the best way to make a new habit stick is to stick it onto an existing habit. So as an example, Jay, when I get up every morning, I do some meditation and breath work, and then I go into the kitchen and I make myself some coffee. And I put a timer on for 5 minutes for my coffee to brew. In those 5 minutes, I do a strength workout. I do it in my kitchen, in my pajamas, right? I do it in my pajamas. The point I'm trying to make is I make it so simple that I have no reason to say no. The dumbbell's there, the kettlebell is there. You know, it just becomes a habit. So I haven't missed a day, Jay, in 3 years, not because I'm motivated, but because I built in a habit. And in the book, basically, there are 6 key tips on how you create these new habits. And I walk people through how you make this stuff happen. Because, Jay, as you know, there's lots of great health books out there. But we read them and we go, yeah, that sounds fantastic. And then 2 months later, it's on the shelf, but we haven't actually done what we thought we were going to do. And that's what I think I'm proudest of about this book, is that it really helps people figure out, how do I do these changes in my own life? And Jay, you know, I know your first book's just been a huge success all around the world. This book for me is my 3rd one, and it's the most popular by far, because I think I've made health about as simple in it as I possibly can. And you saw that message I shared with you on WhatsApp about an hour ago. You know, one of the most powerful messages I've ever received, and I've had this a lot during lockdown, that the principles in this book have helped people with really bad depression, with really bad anxiety, people who've been trying to commit suicide, unfortunately, or trying to take their own life. This book has proved a lifesaver for them. So I feel very passionate that 5 minutes, okay, another way, Jay, look, let's look at it from a business perspective, right? Because I put a video out on this a few months ago, and people really got it, that the first rule when you want to make a new behavior stick in the long term is you've got to make it easy. So rule number 1 in the book is you've got to make it easy. And there's reasons for that. That's because motivation never stays forever. Motivation comes up and it goes down. It's called the motivation wave. And so on days where you have no motivation or little motivation, you will only do what you want to do if it's easy to do. We know that, you know, first 2 weeks in January, we'll all go spinning 4 times a week for 2 weeks, right? Well, look, we've all been there before. But what happens when real life gets in the way? We're tired and we're stressed. And that's why you need to make it easy. Now, Amazon, right? Amazon get this, right? So when Amazon moved to one-click ordering about 5 or 6 years ago, estimates say their profits went up by $300 million a year.
Wow.
$300 million, right? That's because they made it easy. Before, you have to do click on one screen, next screen, confirm your order, put in your card details, put in your expiry date. Every step you take is a reason to back out and say, I'm not going to purchase. Mm-hmm. But now with one click, you know, $300 million more purchases every single year. Netflix, YouTube, they all do the same thing. They run one video into the next. So before you realize it's midnight, I better get to bed, I need to be up early, you're into the next episode, right? So I'm saying business use the principles of behavior change to get you to use their products more, as they should. But when it comes to health, we don't follow the same rules. We have to make it difficult, challenging, deprivation, punishment. And I'm saying health can be fun, health can be easy, health can be an energizing part of your life. And so the book is full of all these tips, Jay, in terms of how can you build this habit into your life. You know, I do my workout over coffee in the morning, but for someone else, it could be at the start of their lunch break. Or at the moment, Jay, as you know, many people are working from home and don't have very good boundaries between work life and home life. Maybe when the laptop shuts at 5 p.m., maybe at that transition point, you can do a yoga flow for 5 minutes. You know, I have, as you say, 30 or 40 mental health exercises, journaling, breathing, meditations, things that you always talk about and your audience are big fans of. Workouts, whether it's strength workout, interval workouts, yoga flows, dancing workouts, right? They're all there, and people don't need to do them all. They just need to choose the ones that they like. But there's a huge part on it, on gratitude. And I know when you came on my podcast, we spoke in detail about gratitude. And one of your top tips, I still remember, Jay, which was make it specific. Make it really, really specific. That's something I really remember from that episode, actually.
If you want another awesome video in our Black Excellence series, check out the video right there next to me. I think you'll enjoy it. Continue to believe, and I'll see you there.